Hey, we're living in a different world these days, and home shopping is changing along with everything else. Local real estate broker Jason Jakus knows all the ins and outs of virtual shopping and selling houses in Southwest Florida, and he can tell you what you need to know about it. Whether you're using Matterport, FaceTime, YouTube, whatever the platform, Jason's got the answers, and he'll tell you about it right now.
From the studios of the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association in Fort Myers, Florida, this is the Royal Palmcast, the show about people and things that realtors, homebuyers, and home sellers care about. And now, here's your host, Jim Sandville.
Hello and welcome to the Royal Palmcast. I am indeed Jim Sandville, your host. We're coming to you from the production studios of the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association in beautiful, sunny Fort Myers, Florida. I'm here today with Jerry Johnson and a special guest I will introduce in just a moment. Jerry is our board op today, as well as Director of Communication here at RPCRA. So he's got his hand in a lot of things. Today it's the board. Jerry, how's everything with you? Everything good?
Everything is good, and as you said, Southwest Florida is beautiful. Great place to live and work, as we are today here with the podcast. So where we continue to provide information and educational resources to our members and people who are interested in real estate. And today, once again, we have a very valued member and informative guest, which I'll let you lead into.
Great. You know, speaking of the beautiful sunny weather here, Jerry, if you're listening to this in the northern tier of the United States and you're thinking about moving to Southwest Florida, do not hesitate. I came from Maine. I got to get that
Maine
plug in. Yeah. And I was scared to death that I would not be able to tolerate the summers here. But I got to say, I acclimated very quickly, and the last week or two, the temperatures in Maine have been about the same as they are here.
Wow.
Humidity levels, about the same. Crazy, huh? Yeah, so in any event, I am very happy to be here. I'm happy to have our guest today. You know, this is a show about real estate, things realtors, home buyers, home sellers care about. And so this guest today is just perfect. As far as I'm concerned, he is Mr. Real Estate in Southwest Florida. This guy has done it all and will probably continue to do so for a long time to come.
Isn't that on his resume?
It
Mr.
says
Real Estate?
MR. Yeah, it is. It is. I thought I was getting creative there, but it says it right here. No, our guest is I'll introduce you in a moment. His name is Jason Jakus. Jason is a national speaker. He's a business coach. He's an author. He's a consultant. And for our purposes today, he's a licensed Florida real estate broker and owner and CEO of Next Home Advisors here in Fort Myers with a couple of other office locations. You may have seen, if you're in the Southwest Florida area, you may have seen Jason on TV as a featured expert on real estate. And he is also a member of our board of directors here at RPCRA and a director of Florida Realtors. He's a podcaster. He's got his hand in 2 podcasts and lots of other stuff. What else? Jason, first of all, welcome to you.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
So happy you could carve out some time to be here. I know you're having a little issue with your foot, and you're not as ambulatory as you normally are, so great effort. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, it's getting better. On the mend.
Glad to hear that. So what did I miss? I mean, you've done a lot. What am I missing? What else are you busy with these days?
Well, I just finished my second book, so hopefully that will come out. And I took a different approach. So I won a Quilly on the first book I did, was a best-selling book, and that was called Cracking the Real Estate Code. It was all real estate related. And so I took a different approach on this one to actually go after it. Each chapter is about a consulting client that I've dealt with. Prior to getting into real estate, I did consulting for all kinds of different companies. And so everyone's a different company that I did consulting for. So it's got a different, unique problem and solution, but it really applies to any business. Any business could have those problems, whether they're restaurant, bars, retail establishments, retail companies. So just finished that a week ago.
Say the title again, please, Jason.
I haven't named it yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't named it yet.
Right.
I started it actually at the beginning of COVID. I started it a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I restarted it at the beginning of COVID, and in about 12 weeks was finished with it. So,
and the first one is called what?
It's called Cracking the Real Estate Code.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's available wherever you buy
Amazon,
books.
any place you buy books.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to take a minute, too, to find out a little bit more about your background, where you're from, and how you happen to end up here in Southwest Florida. You're from Wisconsin originally, correct?
Originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, yes. And I was in retail originally, so I worked for companies like Best Buy, Pep Boys, and got promoted through the ranks, and they moved me every year and a half. So was up in Philly, Atlanta, Georgia, Colorado, Detroit, Chicago, Dallas, and then ended up here.
That is very a very interesting background. Retail led to real estate in what way?
Really led to consulting, and then the consulting. You travel a lot. You're doing a lot of hours and quality of life. And I moved down here, and I worked for a company called Chico's, and
Sure.
was happy. Great company, and worked with them for a while, and left and wanted to do something with better quality of life. Like you guys said earlier, it's a beautiful place to work and play. Mm-hmm. And I was doing a whole heck of a lot more working than I was playing. I had a boat that I had 2 hours on. It was 2 years old. I had a motorcycle with 13 miles on it. And I just was traveling all the time working. And I just said, I got to do something different. And I was always interested in real estate. I was flipping houses in Dallas with a partner, and loved that aspect of it, and got into it and got licensed in 2007.
No, what do you miss most about Wisconsin, about home? The cheese?
Family and the Packers.
Yeah, that's something that may not be happening right away this year, given the pandemic. But football's a tough one for everybody. But yeah, the Packers have a really strong local following here too in Florida, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, and I guess it's a factor of the highway system. A lot of folks from the Midwest, from Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, are down here in Southwest Florida, as opposed to the East Coast, where a lot of folks from the Northeast tend to be located. Right?
Yeah, you get a lot of people coming down 75, and they end up on Southwest Florida. But I also think we have a draw here from Minnesota for the Twins. So yeah, just kind of how it happens. In the East Coast of Florida, you got more New Yorkers and those types of things.
Yeah, as a Red Sox fan, I had no problem coming here at all, plus the beautiful weather. We're going to get into the reason you're here today, to talk about video marketing platforms. What are the options for virtual viewings for homes, not only from the perspective of realtors, but also from buyers and sellers? What are the advantages, disadvantages, if any, for those folks? But I want to get into how you decided to start a career in real estate, though.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me about that.
It was really about quality of life and a passion for home ownership, helping people find their dream home, and service levels. And I got into it. I had was fortunate enough to get into it at a point where I didn't need to make an income for a couple of years, and really got into be a good student, and really loved working with customers. I mean, people joke about it. They say, you get in real estate, you love people, you won't love it, soon enough, whatever. But that's not true. There's nothing better than having a hug from a first-time home buyer at a closing table. There's no better feeling in the world. And when I got into it, there was a lot of short sales and foreclosures. And people struggled with, how do I get to the next chapter of my life? And they're losing their home, or they're short selling their home, and they're lost a job. But being there and being able to be that rock for them is extremely rewarding. Probably more rewarding than anything else I've ever done. So, it was kind of a passion, something I wanted to try. And again, from flipping houses, just the whole idea of, homes in general, it's something that every American strives to own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make a good point that even though obviously real estate is a very business process-focused business, there's a big, big human element involved there.
Oh, a huge human element, absolutely. And that's a piece I think that people sometimes don't remember. And we've got a hashtag with my company, and the hashtag is #Humans_over_houses. And, it's all about the human element. The houses will come. You take care of the people, houses will come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and humans are an interesting animal, so it's certainly challenging and rewarding, all those things, when you're dealing with folks who have lots of different needs, coming at it from a different perspective. And folks need to look at houses. These days, it's a little bit tricky sometimes to do a live showing or open house. So there are virtual showing options out there. Tell me about some of those. What's your favorite? How do they work?
Yeah, I mean, with the pandemic right now, not only is it tougher for people to get into a home, you may have people occupying that home that may have, lower immune systems, or be more susceptible to possibly getting COVID. So when the pandemic hit, we were looking at different options, and there's a couple different ones I'll talk about. But the most easiest and simple is FaceTime. So if you've got an Apple, you're an Apple user, Using FaceTime to show a property and doing what we call virtual showing is absolutely one option of it. It's free. It's on your phone. If somebody else is a user as well, an Apple product, you can do it. They can see it on their iPad, etc. So I like the FaceTime aspect of it. The other portion is all phones, regardless of the manufacturer, has video. And you can download the video to YouTube or to some other platform and then send it over as a link or in an email and actually walk through that actual house with them. But I like the interaction, the human element that you spoke to of having them on FaceTime. So I would rather have them live. And then you can go more extravagant than that. I mean, you can have, Zoom's a popular one that you can have. Zoom's stock is doing enormously great things right now, obviously. But having something like Zoom or GoToMeeting where you can have that video interaction and be able to do that right from your app on your phone and walk through that house. And the nice thing about Zoom is you get multiple people on. So a lot of the times with first-time home buyers, I had a situation where a young lady was graduating from college in Oklahoma City. Her husband was getting discharged from the military in Georgia, so they're in 2 different states together. And then mom and dad wanted to see the house as well. And we had shown them the house originally, and they had gone back to do the graduation. He was getting honorably discharged and getting into his career. And mom and dad were up in Illinois, and they all wanted to see it. So we got on a Zoom meeting at a specific time. And from the getting out of the car, going into the house, and walking the entire house, everybody was able to see that entire home. And the couple, the buyers, were actually physically in the house 3 weeks earlier, didn't make a decision, and then wanted to go back and see it again. Instead of spending the money to come back down and bring in mom and dad, we just did a Zoom and they wrote a contract that night. So with technology the way it is today, it's very doable to do the virtual showings.
How about technologies like Matterport, which is sort of next level stuff, right? How does that work?
Well, we made a decision in my company when the pandemic hit to go out and buy the Matterport camera. I was using in my business a local vendor that did Matterport. Matterport's a true 3D walkthrough tour. It's not, a lot of people say I have a 3D tour and it's a bunch of sliding pictures and it's not really a walkthrough. And the nice thing with the Matterport is the technology has been advanced. It's not an expensive camera to buy. It's very expensive. But their technology is so advanced that you can literally walk from the front door just like you would Google Maps and Google Street View.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're walking through different circles in the house, and you can walk through the bathrooms, and you can spin around and look up. And the camera's actually made of 9 different cameras in the actual Matterport camera. So it's designed to see the rooftop, the ceilings, all the way down to the floor. And it's a complete 360, and it sits on a very small tripod. And it does a spin of the entire room, and then you move it, and it interjects with your phone or your tablet. And we can do a Matterport in a 2,000 square foot house in about 2 hours.
That's to record it.
To record it,
yeah.
Right. And then we upload it to Matterport Company, and they make the dollhouse and the floor plan. So you get a couple different things from it. You get a floor plan of the house, which a lot of listings don't have currently. You get a dollhouse of the house so you can spin it. So it looks just like you would see it. If you put a dollhouse on the table here between us, that view as we walked around the table would give a different perspective.
Are you talking about an external view at that point?
Yeah, it's external looking in from outside looking down. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it is a lot like I was checking it out just a few minutes ago. As a matter of fact, it reminded me of the same technology, the same look and feel as, to the point you made, Google Street View. You can walk around, and in fact, Google, I think, has a service where they will sell a business, to go inside the business and to do the same type of thing.
Correct. Matterport's becoming extremely popular. And before you would only do it in higher end homes or bigger homes or unique homes. Well, we made the decision to do it in every single one of our listings, and from that, it's really interesting because you get analytics, which I love. Numbers don't lie, people lie, right? So the numbers we're getting from the actual views, and figure so they consider a view of 2 minutes in the home and at least taking 6 steps, so 6 dots. That could be 4 rooms, it could be 2 rooms, depends on the size of the house. But it has to have both of those to register as a visit. And we're getting literally in a week 400 to 500 people walking through these rooms and these houses without ever making an appointment. So now you don't have to pick up the kids and the dog and go out and do shopping. Where are you going to go, right? And so it really does cut down on initial showings, and when you have a showing, it's almost like having a second showing on these houses. But we love that, and it's great to send to somebody that wants to see the property and they're not physically here.
You mentioned that the cameras are expensive. How expensive are they?
They're anywhere between $4,000 and $7,000.
Yeah. Well, that'll come down in time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would hope.
Sure. And you pay a fee to the Matterport company, right?
Correct. So they charge, it's called spaces. So they charge a space for every home you've got a Matterport on. They charge, so they have packages starting at 10 spaces going on up to 300 spaces. So, but when you talk to a consumer and they're concerned about putting their house on the market, and you can show them that solution where that somebody doesn't need to physically come in your house. Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about the technology is you can actually zoom in and you can zoom back out. In fact, we've got a photo release that we make our clients sign, because if you've got art on the wall or you've got a checkbook sitting out or a bill with a number on it, you can zoom in and see that number clear as day. So the technology is a 4K camera. So technology is cutting edge.
Mm-hmm. Good. I have a lot more questions for you, Jason. We're going to ask you to hold the thought, though, for a moment, because we need to take a very quick break. But it's a great message you're about to hear. Stay tuned, folks, and we'll be right back on the Royal Palmcast.
Reports show that even with the coronavirus affecting the lives of many, it hasn't fully hit the housing market yet. We don't know what the next few months will bring, but one thing's for sure. Home buyers want to continue shopping for their dream homes online while staying safe by avoiding unnecessary personal contact. It's still possible to safely market your listings while adhering to the current CDC guidelines. Now is a better time than ever to utilize web-based services, including video tours and virtual open houses. Potential buyers can request a video tour instead of touring a listing in person. This approach keeps the public safe and allows the buyer to take all the time they need to experience the home and repeat the experience as desired. Virtual home tours allow buyers to move through the house the way they would during an in-person showing. In addition, they are statistically proven to generate more leads and will likely provide an additional boost to your listings with even greater exposure on services like Zillow. Association members also have access to showing time through the dashboard. This free application can help with video showings, including comprehensive information on how to set them up. And don't forget about social media. Facebook Live presents a huge potential for real estate agents to stand out, be cost-effective, and abide by social distancing regulations. These alternatives are a great way to take preventative measures while maintaining your customers' interest in a property. Thank you, and be well.
Are you a realtor in the Fort Myers, Florida area, or thinking of becoming one? If so, you should know that the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association is here to support you. Sure, we offer access to the multiple listing service, but that's just the beginning. We also offer certification classes, exclusive online tools, and a peer network of over 7,000 local realtors and business partners. We also operate a realtor store with signage, lockboxes, maps, and other realtor essentials at our locations in Fort Myers, South Fort Myers, and Cape Coral. Our advocacy arm, RPAC, works to make sure your voice is heard in Washington, Tallahassee, and at the local level. We speak out on issues important to the real estate industry, like water quality, private property rights, and tax matters. Realtors from throughout Lee County, Florida, and beyond count on the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association to help keep them at the top of their game. If you're a realtor or an aspiring realtor in the Fort Myers area, you'll want to take advantage of all we have to offer. Contact us today. You can start by visiting our website, rpcra.org, or by following us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. The Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association is here for you.
I'm going to make you a star.
I'm ready. Where do I sign?
Well, before you sign on the dotted line, let me tell you more.
Listening?
The Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association is looking for members who think they have what it takes to participate in video segments or other media production for the association, upcoming events, classes, special projects, things like that.
I've been told I have a certain star quality.
I believe it.
Yeah, so what's my next step?
It's easy. Just send an email to shows@rpcra.org with the word audition in the subject line. Simple. We'll reply with all the details, requirements, and forms you need for your audition. We'll review your information and let you know if you fit the part. But keep in mind, this is a real commitment. Writing, rehearsing, you gotta know your lines, recording dates, and real deadlines. And not everyone can be a star, you know. We're looking for actual writing and video samples. So email us today for your audition.
Already doing it. Is green screen one word or two?
You do have a certain quality. Ambition.
Can't talk now. Gotta get ready for my screen test. How much does this pay anyway? Asking for a friend.
Well, it's strictly a volunteer gig, but it's a great opportunity to get your name out there and may even help you build your business.
That'll work. For my friend.
Yeah. Okay.
If you have what it takes to appear on camera in our productions, we want to hear from you. Any member in good standing who's interested and can meet the commitments and deadlines is encouraged to apply. Go to the RPCRA Facebook page or watch your member weekly update for more information. We'll follow up with you and may even schedule an on-camera audition in our Winkler Avenue studio. We will also ask to see or hear samples of your past work on camera, microphone, or in print.
In Lee County real estate news today, single-family home sales are up 11%.
Brother.
I'm Bill Steinke, and you're listening to the Royal Palmcast.
This is Ned Hale. You're listening to the Royal Palmcast.
This is Cecilia Sculthorpe, and you're listening to the Royal Palmcast.
We're back on the Royal Palmcast. My name is Jim Sanville, your host, here with Jason Jakus, as I call him, Mr. Real Estate here in Southwest Florida. What do you think of that moniker, Jason?
I love that. I'm going to put it on my car.
I can see you on billboards.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would be like Homer Simpson with Mr. Plow.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's good stuff. Good stuff. No, Jason has a very, very varied background and rich background in real estate, as well as other fields, including retail. He's here in Fort Myers from Wisconsin and going gangbusters with his real estate business, Next Home Advisors. And Jason's talking to us today about how virtual showings are accomplished and how technology is really changing the real estate buying experience for sellers and buyers. You mentioned Jason, that one of the big advantages for the sellers, you don't have to move them out of the house to go to the mall for 2 or 3 hours while you're doing a showing. You're cutting down on exposure to viruses, such as they may exist, and it's good stuff. What are some of the limitations, though, of this technology? What are the downsides?
I don't know there's a downside to it. I think the biggest thing that we had to get used to is being able to schedule this, because consumers want their home on the market now. And we've taken an approach that we will launch our listings on a Friday, and there's a couple reasons for that. And then we schedule the Matterport and professional photography and drone, if we use a drone, and make sure that everything's done by noon on Thursday so we can have a Friday launch. And some customers want that launch when they sign that listing agreement. So explaining that stuff takes time. So it could be a limitation with the consumer. But I think it's worth the wait. And then launching on Fridays will give us 2 weekends before we hit double-digit days on market. Once you see things that are at 17 days and 22 days, you're wondering what's wrong with the house. And so it gives us 2 full weekends without being double-digit days on markets. We always launch on a Friday. And then what we do is a pre-launch party in the morning when we get everything loaded MLS and get everything out there. We do a pre-launch party where we send all of our buyers that we've got in our pipeline all the listings of the week. And if there's ever, for some unforsaken reason, we don't do it, we get the phone calls. Where's our pre-party at? Because they want to see what's coming on there in the market.
Sure.
So it works out.
Is that sort of a best practice to do Fridays?
I think it is. I always say launch on a Friday, never close on a Friday. Launch your listings on Friday, never close on a Friday.
Why wouldn't you want to close on a Friday?
Well, I learned the hard way. If you have a closing on a Friday and it gets bumped for any reason, and those people your customers are in a U-Haul truck, they end up with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night in a hotel until Monday. At least if it gets bumped a day. On Thursday, it gets bumped to Friday, and they can close. So we've had some issues with that, and people, us paying for hotel rooms and things like that. So
yeah, that's a good point. I should mention that there is a website that falls under the auspices of this organization called myopenhousesearch.com, where folks can go in and search for. They can find and book open houses, virtual showings. You've certainly had experience with that, right, Jason?
Yeah, it was a great pivot on the association's part to put that out there. There's a lot of people that, from a convenience standpoint, if nothing else, once the pandemic is passed and whenever that is, I still think that people moving down here, and we have a big draw from people from all over coming to Florida. It took over as the fastest growing state from where people are moving to migration. And you can search and go do that virtual open house and not even be in the state yet. So it gives a convenience factor to the consumer, which has been a gap for the real estate market for several years. They've come with, in the clothing industry, for example, you get outfits sent to you every month. Try them on, they don't fit, you send them back, right? You don't even go to the store anymore. And you've got a designer who's going to design your look for you. Well, that was great technology, but we've always done things old school. You got to walk through the house. You got to physically be there for the open house. You got to physically walk through it. And so I think this, as bad as the pandemic has been for a lot of different things, it's been we really embraced technology in the real estate world, which we haven't. I'm very vocal about the fact that we're behind in some of this stuff, and I think that for the consumer, we should be catering to them and their needs. And relocation too. We got some great companies down here with Chico's and Hertz and Gartner and these great organizations in the hospital system, and a lot of people moving down here. And there's a great convenience in being able to walk through a home or have video of the home and be able to walk through it through video before you even get here, or go to the open houses on a Sunday. We had a couple. We just did a virtual open house 2 weeks ago. We had a couple from Vermont. That's all they did on Sunday was they were on their couch with their laptop going to virtual houses in Southwest Florida because they're moving here.
You got to bake your own cookies that way, right?
Exactly.
Do you think that the pandemic is driving all or most of this adoption of technology, not just by realtors but also consumers? I
think it is. I think it's force-fed us. And we've been asking for virtual board meetings for a long time, right? I sit on a for-profit board in Houston, Texas for a major builder. And I've been on that board of directors now for my third term. And I've only been in Houston for the board meetings twice. And so we've been doing virtually for years. And so I think it's forced us to take on that and embrace that technology where we can do more without leaving the comfort of our office or our house and be able to shop for homes and shop for cars. I mean, there's an entire company that built their entire model of buying new cars, Carvana. They'll deliver it to your house. You shop completely online. And I see us getting there in the house world. I've never seen so many offers written sight unseen. They can do all their shopping at home, come down and see their final three, right? Have one offer on one and go see two other ones to compare and contrast, and be here for the actual inspection. Never seen so many as I have during the pandemic.
I bet Carvana has one thing the real estate business will never have, and that's a vending machine to
get your car up. Yeah.
I actually saw one of those. I don't recall where, but
somewhere in Orlando.
Or maybe that's where it was.
It's in Orlando.
Yeah, that's cool. Before we switch gears, I want to talk with you just a little bit more about the virtual home viewing, home showing experience, Jason. Beyond Matterport, FaceTime, Zoom, are there other products out there that are worth considering if you're a realtor?
There are, and I would tell you, video, walking through the video just with your phone is worth. If you don't get a Matterport or spend the money, I think there are vendors out there who do a Matterport for $250 to $350, right? If that's not in your budget, or it's a smaller home, that some of the smaller 800 square foot condos don't really Matterport well. Doing just a simple video and then using either YouTube channels to upload that video or using BombBomb to send that video via email to that customer. One of the things, we've got a lead generation system. The number one thing we're getting now is requests for virtual showings. That's our number one thing. So having just your phone and being able to email that link or uploading it to YouTube and having a YouTube channel on it, I think is worth doing. And it's a very economical. YouTube costs $0. You've got a phone with a great camera on it already. Pull it out of your pocket and just walk through the house and talk about it. I would say if you're going to do that, at least invest in a some kind of handheld selfie stick, if you will. They call them selfie sticks, but they're
or a gimbal.
Or a gimbal. I mean, gimbals are $200 for a gimbal, so you don't get that shakiness. Especially use the gimbal if you're going to actually put that video link in your MLS. You want it to look professional. But I think YouTube's a great channel, and just using your phone's a great way.
By the way, I can't let this go by. You mentioned BombBomb, which is B-O-M-B, a suitably cute name for a startup. But can you tell us quickly what BombBomb is? Yeah, so BombBomb allows you to send emails with video in them. So you can send a video to a customer. I love the fact that I can send a BombBomb video to a new lead. And the cool thing is you can do the video one time, because we know how much people love to be on camera. Do the video one time and say, "Hi, I'm Jason Jakus at Next Home Advisors. You just signed up on my website. I'm looking forward to meeting with you. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know."
I'm currently out showing houses, and you can take that video and do it in an actual house. So and just send it from your phone, and that way they're getting instant. And to your point, I always ask people, do you get more out of a telephone conversation with somebody or more out of face-to-face? Well, this is a hybrid, right? This is not real interactive, but at least they're seeing your face. Mm-hmm. And you've taken the time to send them a video of yourself. So it's basically an email platform that allows you to embed video inside of it and send a video. And the video can be, I've sent videos that were 12 minutes. Mm. And it sends just as fast as the video. It takes 30 seconds. So it's pretty cool technology.
It sounds like if you're looking to buy a house or shop around, a good question to ask a realtor would be, where are you with the use of this technology? Can you accommodate my needs in terms of showing from a distance?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was just on a listing appointment a couple of weeks ago, and he's a doctor leaving the area. And that was his first question to me. I said, we looked at the house as we're walking through the house. He goes, I want virtual showings. Can you handle that? And how? And, I walked through everything we do, so I think it is important.
Mm. Yeah, it seems to me that if you're not at least preparing to use this technology as a realtor, you risk falling behind.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, in any event, now, Jason, we get to come to my favorite part of the program. We call it the lightning round. I think I warned you about this in advance. And this is the part of the program where we ask you some of your favorite things and your personal, professional opinions. What are your favorites in this category and that? It's a lot of fun. And but it's a pretty secure game too. We've got all the questions printed on 3x5 Game Show Host index cards. These are the official Game Show Host index cards. These have been sequestered away in a super box in Lehigh Acres since noon on last Thursday, about a week ago. And Jerry stopped out there on his way to work today to pick them up.
I did. I have them in my hand.
Now, it's a bit out of your way, Jerry, so I appreciate you grabbing those cards. So you do have them?
They're right there. Here.
You have all of them?
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Looks like the pile might be a little light. Okay, I guess they're all here. All right, Jason, this is where we have some fun. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're looking for soundbite answers here. Don't overthink it. All right. When and where was the last time you saw snow?
When and where last time I saw snow would have been in New Jersey at Triple Play in December. This past December, I spoke there. Yep, I spoke there in December, and we had snow flurries. I woke up to it and went and walked through it all the way to the casinos.
And then rushed back home as soon as you could, right?
Exactly.
Where would you live if not in Florida?
If not in Florida, I would live in Fiji.
Fiji? Have you been there?
I have.
I love the water. Yeah. It's. How did you happen to go to Fiji? I got to ask.
It's a bucket list vacation thing.
Nice. Yeah. That's nice. Cats or dogs, Jason?
Dogs.
Dog guy, huh? All right, this one is multiple choice. I'm not sure where he's going to fall on this one, Jerry. Is it you guys, yous, or y'all?
Use guys.
Use guys. That's a hybrid of you guys and
I think that's the first. Use guys.
Use guys.
Use
yeah.
Guys.
Yeah. That's a thing. That's a thing. What's your go-to social media platform?
Instagram.
You're an Instagrammer. All right. You an influencer? You are, right?
12,000 followers.
Wow.
I don't know if that makes me an influencer or not.
Wow. Well, I'll be.
I'm influenced.
Yeah, you consider me influenced. What's your guilty pleasure? Something you don't typically reveal, Jason?
Chocolate.
Chocolate? Okay, that's not too sinful. Or, All right, now tell me about some of your favorites. Your favorite TV show?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone? Is that a Ken Burns?
No, that's about the Montana Ranch.
That's like a Netflix thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Costner.
Okay, it's not a documentary. I'm not familiar. How about your favorite food?
Steak.
Steak. Day of the week?
Friday.
Favorite book?
Good to Great.
Good to Great. Who's the author?
Oh, God.
I thought you were going to tell me about a Jason Jakus book here, but...
No, Good to Great.
Right.
Collins is the last name.
All right, fair enough. What's your favorite form of recreation?
Golf.
And what's your dream car?
A McLaren.
Now, changing the subject here, socks with sandals, yes or no?
Absolutely not.
No. We do not get a lot of yeses on this one. Do not get a lot.
I don't know. Did we get one?
I think we have had one or two.
Boy.
Yeah, but I'm with you, Jason. No, of course not. I was actually in a doctor's office the other day, and the father and son standing in front of me at the counter, both had sandals. Son had no socks. Dad had socks on. So
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's a crazy family, I guess. Who's your personal hero?
Personal hero. God, that's a tough one. I'm going to have to say Tony Robbins.
Strong. Do you do any imitations, Jason?
I do not.
I bet you do. You just don't want to.
One that has use guys in it.
Use guys, yeah, from Brooklyn or something. I don't know. Now, I hold in my hand the last lightning round question. You get one bucket list item. What is it?
One bucket list item.
And it can't be going back to Fiji.
I think it's going to be hiking. I've never hiked a mountain ever.
Really?
So I don't care what mountain it is. I just never gone hiking with the overnight tent. You go up to the top. I've never been hiking a mountain. It's something I've always wanted to do.
Well, in Florida is not a real simple matter, but
no, it's not.
I predict, Jason, that knowing you as I do, you are a guy who checks off items on his bucket list, and you will be doing that sooner rather than later. Jason, I want to thank you for spending some time with us. I know how busy you are, and we consider you a really good get here for the podcast, the Royal Palmcast, and it's been great having you. How can people get in touch with you if they want to follow up on anything?
They can follow me on Instagram, Jason_Jakus, Jakus. They can find me on Facebook. They can find my office and call me. Email.
All right. Jakus, folks. Jason Jakus. That music playing now tells me we have come to the end of another episode of the Royal Palmcast, the show about people and things that realtors, home buyers, and home sellers care about. Again, I want to thank Jason Jakus for spending some time with us. Jerry, thank you for taking care of everything over in the corner there.
Happy to do it.
All right, great to have you. And thanks, too, to the entire staff of the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association here in Fort Myers, Florida, especially our CEO, Beata Jones. And be sure to check out our sister podcast, Realtor Riff Rap, with host Nick Pigelis. And, of course, our YouTube video program, Realtor's Corner, with Nick and Joanna Rao. Thanks for listening, everyone. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Royal Palmcast. Tune in again for more episodes and make sure to check out our sister podcast, Realtor Riff Rap, and our video news show, Realtor's Corner, which can be found on the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association Facebook page and YouTube channel. Sponsorship opportunities for these programs and more coming soon. So stay connected with RPCRA and stay tuned. This has been a production of the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association.